Every time you strike a match, bake a cake, or even breathe, you're witnessing chemistry in action. But what really happens when substances change? Let's explore the fascinating world of chemical reactions. A chemical reaction is a process where one or more substances, called reactants, are transformed into new substances, called products. Hydrogen plus oxygen yields water, H2 plus O2 yields H2O. During this process, atoms are rearranged, but no atoms are created or destroyed. So how do you know if a chemical reaction has occurred? Temperature change, which can be exothermic or endothermic. Color change. Gas production, often seen as fizzing or bubbling. Formation of a precipitate. And of course, a new substance is formed. These signs tell us that a new substance has formed with different properties. Chemists use equations to represent reactions, but there's a big difference between word equations and symbol equations. Word magnesium plus oxygen produces magnesium oxide, symbol Mg plus O2 produces MgO. Symbol equations need to be balanced because of the law of conservation of mass. Atoms are neither created nor destroyed, so every atom on the left must appear on the right. Unbalanced H2 plus O2 yields H2O, balanced 2 He2 plus O2 yields 2 H2O. Tip: only add big numbers in front, never change small subscripts. In a closed system, the mass of reactants equals the mass of products. If you burn 12 grams of carbon and get 44 grams of carbon dioxide, the missing 32 grams came from oxygen in the air. Always consider gases when mass seems to change. Now let's break down the main types of chemical reactions you need to know for GCSE. Fuel reacts with oxygen, producing heat, light, carbon dioxide, and water. Methane reacts with 2 molecules of oxygen to produce carbon dioxide and 2 molecules of water. A single compound breaks down with heat. CaCO3 decomposes to form Co and CO2. A more reactive element displaces a less reactive one. Zinc reacts with copper sulfate to form zinc sulfate and copper. When 2 solutions react, sometimes they form an insoluble solid known as a precipitate. Sodium sulfate reacts with barium chloride to produce barium sulfate, which is a solid, and sodium chloride. Acid plus base results in salt and water. Hydrochloric acid reacts with sodium hydroxide to form sodium chloride and water. Reactions either give out or take in energy. Exothermic reactions release energy, like in combustion or respiration. On the other hand, endothermic reactions absorb energy, such as in photosynthesis or thermal decomposition. You can spot them by temperature change or energy profiles. GCSE exams often ask for ionic equations and state symbols. H plus aqueous plus O aqueous forms H2O liquid. Solid is represented by S, liquid is represented by L, gas is represented by G, and dissolved in water is represented by AQ. You might be asked to balance an equation, identify the type of reaction, explain mass changes, or predict products of a reaction. Use keywords like reactants, products, rearranged, conservation, and balanced. Mass is lost. It's usually a gas that escaped the system. You can change subscripts to balance. Only use coefficients in front. Every reaction gives bubbles, not true. Many are silent but still chemical. Let's recap what you must remember about chemical reactions. Reactants form new products. Atoms rearranged, not lost. Equations must be balanced. Reaction types, combustion, decomposition, displacement, etc. Mass is conserved. Energy is transferred. Bonus exam tip: to answer a 6-mark question, use full sentences, define key terms, use an example. Balance any equations and include keywords like mass is conserved or rearranged atoms. Chemical reactions are everywhere, in your body, your kitchen, and the atmosphere. Master this topic and you'll unlock so much more in chemistry. Super. Question 1. Balancing chemical equations. Ethene, or C2H4, combusts in oxygen to produce carbon dioxide and water. So how do we write the balanced chemical equation for this reaction? The balanced equation is C2H4 plus 3O2 yields 2CO2 plus 2H2O. To explain, we start with the unbalanced equation. C2H4 plus O2 yields CO2 plus H2O. First, we balance the carbon atoms. Since there are 2 carbon atoms in C2H4, we place a coefficient of 2 before CO2, giving us C2H4 plus O2 yields 2CO2 plus H2O. Next, we balance the hydrogen atoms. C2H4 has 4 hydrogen atoms, so we place a coefficient of 2 before H2O, resulting in C2H4 plus O2 yields 2CO2 plus 2H2O. Finally, we balance the oxygen atoms. On the right side, there are 4 oxygen atoms in 2CO2 and 2 oxygen atoms in 2H2O, totaling 6 oxygen atoms. Therefore, we place a coefficient of 3 before O2, giving us the balanced equation. C2H4 plus 3, O2 yields 2CO2 plus 2H2O. The equation is now balanced with 2 carbon atoms, 4 hydrogen atoms, and 6 oxygen atoms on both sides. Question 2. Identifying reaction types. When aqueous solutions of silver nitrate or AgNO3 and sodium chloride, NaCl, are mixed, a white precipitate forms. What type of chemical reaction is this, and what is the balanced ionic equation? Answer: this is a precipitation reaction. Balanced ionic equation: Ag plus AQ plus KL AQ gives AgZl. Explanation: a precipitation reaction occurs when 2 aqueous solutions react to form an insoluble solid or precipitate. Here, mixing silver nitrate and sodium chloride solutions results in the formation of solid silver chloride, which appears as a white precipitate. Balanced ionic equation. In solution, silver nitrate dissociates into silver ions and nitrate ions. Sodium chloride dissociates into sodium ions and chloride ions. Reaction. Silver ions in aqueous solution react with chloride ions in aqueous solution to form solid silver chloride. These questions are designed to reflect the style and content of GCSE chemistry examinations, providing practice in balancing equations and understanding reaction.